How's it going, everyone? I'm Andrew with SpeedTech Lights, and welcome to another episode of SpeedTech Spotlight. In this episode, I wanted to go over our multicolor Virtue deck and dash lights. So we have 5 sizes here. So we have our Virtue 1, Virtue 2, Virtue 4, Virtue 6, and Virtue 8. Now for example here, I brought our Virtue 1 in an amber clear color. Now you'll notice since these units are multicolor, they'll be flashing back and forth between their primary and secondary colors. And then for example here, I brought our Virtue 2 in a red-blue color setup. Now with our dual memory products, with our SIG plug here for our Virtue 1, Virtue 2, and Virtue 4, you have the ability to run your unit in multicolor, your primary or your secondary color individually, and you can program them to power mode 1 and power mode 2. So in one power mode here, I have my unit in multicolor, and then in my second power mode, I have my unit in just the red color. Or say I wanted to switch that to only blue, I can cycle to the blue flash patterns, and then you have memory recall per power mode, so you can go ahead and turn your unit off, or you can switch it to your other power mode where you're running multicolor, and then you can easily switch back to your other power mode where you have your single color programmed. And say for example, if you wanted one power mode to have red and one power mode to have blue, you could program that as well. And then in the back here, I brought our Virtue 4 in a red clear color setup. Now for the second power mode here, I went ahead and did the steady burn override by holding my flash pattern switch down for a couple seconds, and you'll see when I go to that second power mode, I have a steady burn clear work light there in my second power mode, or I have a warning function in my other power mode. So that's a great feature with clear as the secondary option, and that's our Virtue 4 for example. But again, we have our Virtue 1, Virtue 2, Virtue 4, Virtue 6, and Virtue 8. So let's go ahead and go over our Virtue 6 and Virtue 8. So here I brought our Virtue 6 in a red-blue color setup, and I brought our Virtue 8 in an amber clear color setup. But again, you can get any of these units in amber, red, blue, green, and clear multicolor. And again, you'll notice your unit is flashing back and forth between its primary and secondary colors. Or built into the flash patterns, you can also run your unit in its primary or secondary colors individually, whether you're in your warning mode or in your traffic advisor mode as well. So for example here, I'll go to center out. So I'll have 3 flash patterns per multicolor, primary, and secondary. So I have pattern 1 here in multicolor, and then if I hit my pattern button, I'll have pattern 2, and then I'll have pattern 3, and then past that pattern, I'll be in my primary color patterns. So I'll have my amber flash patterns in my amber clear color model, and I'll have my red flash patterns on my red blue color model. So pattern 1, pattern 2, and then pattern 3, and then past those I'll have my secondary color flash patterns. So then on my amber clear model, clear will be my secondary color, and on my red blue model, blue will be my secondary color. So I'll have pattern 1, pattern 2, and pattern 3, and that's in your traffic advisor, and then past those you'll be back into your multicolor flash patterns like you see there. Or you can easily switch back to your warning mode by hitting your warning mode button there. And then finally on our direct control, which is a great option on these light bars here to easily plug and play. And for example here, I'm using our direct control splitter with both of my traffic advisors hooked up here, where I'm able to control them off of one direct control. And then you have your slow and fast function here. So I'm in slow, and then I can go to fast, and that works in my warning mode or my traffic advisor as well. So that's the fast and then back to slow. And then I can easily swap between my traffic advisor mode or back to warning. So you'll see from our Virtue 1, Virtue 2, Virtue 4, Virtue 6, or Virtue 8, we have any size for any application available in amber, red, blue, green, and clear multicolor. Or we have our customization tool if you do need a custom color setup for your vehicle. So try out our interactive players to see exactly how these function on the product pages, and let us know if you have any questions. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.